On this episode of the Sports Spotlight series, the focus is on the Spaulding Rehabilitation Network and Mass General Brigham. Having a disability should not keep anyone from doing the things they love. We'll take you inside Spaulding's Exercise for Persons with Disabilities program, looking at one of their most successful activities, adaptive rowing. Think a life-altering injury keeps this 71-year-old on the sidelines? Think again.
Got to adapt and adjust.
We check out Spaulding Adaptive Sports Center's ski and snowboard program. We visit Mass General Brigham's for Children Pediatric Care Unit and see how MGB's sports medicine program is helping to get this high school pitcher back on the mound. And as Spaulding celebrates a half-century of providing top-ranked care, we'll talk with the center's president about his hopes for the future at the world-renowned clinic.
Riding my bike on a Sunday morning, about 7:30, and I was like a mile from home, and some guy took a left turn and said he didn't see me.
Skiing out west in Utah, hit a rock head first really hard, so.
Two life-altering accidents, which understandably could keep Saul and Sam on the sidelines. But it's not necessarily what happens, it's how you react.
Staying busy, I think, is the best way to cope with it and feel pretty normal. And as long as you're feeling accomplished and you're moving forward with something, I think that really helps keep you on the right track.
There's nothing you can do about it, and you can either decide you're going to wallow and not do anything, or you just move on.
Both Sam and Saul decided quickly after their accidents that wallowing simply wasn't the way to go, which took them to Spaulding's Rehabilitation Hospital in Cambridge. There, they discovered a program called Exercise for Persons with Disabilities. The program, now more than a dozen years old, started small, but has grown to see as many as 90 participants at any given time. Some, like Sam and Saul, take part in one of Spaulding's most successful activities, adaptive rowing.
Rowing is coordinated between the arms and the legs. The arms and the legs aren't moving just randomly. They're actually coordinated to create a rowing stroke. And rowing is a sport that exists and that is very welcoming of people with disabilities.
I had done rowing as one of the many things I did when I worked out in gyms anyway, so I was familiar with the machine. It helps me with my strength. Some of the things that I've learned in here are how to pace myself, how to do things like transfers in and out of my wheelchair, just understanding the limits of my body.
Adaptive rowing puts you to work. The participant works both their legs and their upper body.
Doing this program with the FES and everything helped me keep the tone and the muscle, and I'm hoping at some point to be able to stand on my own.
I was introduced to this idea of using electrical stimulation of the paralyzed legs to assist in doing exercise, because the more muscle mass you engage in exercise, the greater the intensity is and the greater the benefits.
Keep your muscles relatively healthy, maintain your bone density.
So we've got them placed on the upper quad and the lower quad down here. These two pads together will flex his entire quadricep.
We can prevent a lot of the changes in body composition. The increases in fat are slowed. The decreases in muscle are actually reversed.
I started out at 1,000 meters in an hour, and I was pretty discouraged, but now I'm up to 7,000, so it just takes work.
The hard work is paying off.
It's too bad I don't have video of me when I was inpatient at Charlestown 3 years ago, so that you could see where I was and where I am now. You just have to put your mind to it.
With hard work comes success, and it has both men looking to the future.
I started skiing again about 10 months after my injury. This last winter I got out to Colorado for a week, and then out to the National Ability Center in Park City, Utah. On top of that, I'd really like to do the Boston Marathon. I have a race chair. I haven't actually gotten to compete in any marathons yet, but I'd like to start training for that seriously.
The next thing is, would be to row on the river. You have to be able to transfer 75% without any help, and I'm not there yet, but I'm getting closer, I think. And to be able to get into a boat and get on the river and be able to do that, that's one of my goals.
Dr. Taylor knows and sees all the benefits of the adaptive rowing program, and he too has a goal.
One of them is to produce a commercial rower that's affordable, that could go into someone's home and out of the box they could get on and actually enjoy the benefits of this form of exercise.
After the break, we're hitting the slopes.
I always leave in happier than when I came in. Everybody is so positive. You could be having the toughest day and you just need to show up and participate and you'll leave in better spirits.
Why did you do it, Ken? Why did you do it?
'Cause I'm a warrior.
Yeah, tell them.
In all the programs at Spaulding, everybody was so helpful and so encouraging.
The sport of skiing often is unforgiving to even the most avid of athletes. The challenges that some mountains provide can be difficult to overcome. Witness a typical day at Wachusetts Mountain in Princeton, Mass. As the song goes, you know it don't come easy. The Spaulding Adaptive Sports Center ski program understands that difficulty. Regardless, in collaboration with Wachusetts, Spaulding offers the chance, no matter the limitation or difficulty, for their clients to get outside and hit the slopes.
A typical day, we're going to have a handful of sit skiers that are on a bi-ski, which is two shorter articulated skis under a seated bucket, where someone might be using handheld outriggers. We've got other sit skiers that are in a mono-ski with one long ski underneath their base. We've got a number of standing skiers, some who are using poles, some who are using outriggers or another snow slider that gives them more support.
I'm really appreciative of this whole group and so happy that they're able to come out here and go skiing, and we're really thankful to be able to provide this opportunity for them.
One of the Spaulding participants taking advantage of the adaptive ski program is Dylan Cummings. Born with a form of cerebral palsy, Dylan still dreamed of being an athlete. But CP challenged that until Dylan found at Spaulding two life-changing programs, sled hockey and adaptive skiing.
Spaulding opened up doors for me that I never knew were there.
Dylan says the feeling was like flying during that first time on the mountain, and says you simply have to believe that anything is possible.
I enjoy the fact that my legs don't call the shots. My disability doesn't call the shots when I'm on the mountain. I'm in control, and my coaches are in control, and I can still have fun regardless if I'm having a hard day with regard to muscle tone or pain or something like that.
The staff and volunteer coaches of the programs at Spaulding Adaptive Sports Centers play a huge role in the success of the participants. Just ask Ken Packard, a longtime athlete, outdoorsman, and skier. Ken says he pushed the limits of his abilities until suffering a broken neck and spine 3 summers ago.
I just said, that's it. No more skiing, no more anything. No more doing the things that I loved anymore, especially outdoors. I wouldn't be able to hike anymore, and it was kind of depressing.
Disheartening until he met the Spaulding therapy staff during his rehab process. Ken was introduced to several programs, including hand cycling, kayaking, rock climbing, and of course, skiing.
When I get out here, it was great. Oh, it was great. It just felt so good to be on the snow. The feeling, I had a lot of the rhythm down with turns and things like that.
The people that get here are people that have overcome any kind of woe is me and poor me. They have overcome that. They've gotten here because they want to get out and play on the snow.
Reach your right outrigger a little bit and turn it.
For all involved, attitude is key, and the rewards are many.
There's good in every situation, no matter how dark it may be, and you just have to start with a solid foundation. I grew up with one, so the people at Spaulding Adaptive Sports just added to that foundation, and they helped me to not count the moments, but make the moments count.
Well, the amazing thing is people to say, I had no idea that was possible. Or the family member to say, I never thought he was going to get on a chairlift again.
Mr. Packard, how is the skiing today? It's fabulous today. It's a little bit crowded, but you know.
The ski bus on the way home is a big party. We have clients walking up and down the aisle saying, did you see the clip of what I just did? So the rewards are, far outweigh the effort it is to get the number of people out on snow.
You got to adapt and adjust. You've got to get used to where you are now. There's no other way it's going to change. I'm never going to walk again.
See you at the top, boo-boo.
Yeah, there you go.
This is how you overcome those obstacles. Go back out there. Don't just sit home. Do things. Stay active like you were before. Anything you loved before, try and still do it. There's always an adaptive way.
When we return, we'll visit a facility where kids and athletes take center stage.
I can't recommend coming here enough to be able to get the world-class care that you receive here and just have it be something that feels so personal. I would highly recommend it to any parent.
Thank you, girls.
World-class care here without having to travel to there. Welcome to a collaboration between Mass General for Children and Spaulding Outpatient Center for Children, located at Patriot Place in Foxboro, Massachusetts.
I think it's really nice to be able to go somewhere that's close to your own neighborhood and where a team will really get to know you and your child.
Karen and Joe Murray of Norwood, Mass. love both the convenience of the center and the care it provides for their 4-year-old twins, Maddie and Josie. Dr. Dana McGill at Mass General for Children cares for Maddie.
She has congenital hypothyroidism, which is a condition that in the first year of life, we need to be checking labs and seeing patients very frequently, much more frequent than they're even seeing their pediatrician.
Maddie's sister Josie has Down syndrome. For Karen and Joe, there's a lot to learn.
She's a very healthy girl, but needs some extra help with things like, speech therapy, physical therapy, and other medical needs.
Josie is under the watchful eye of Spalding pediatric physical therapist Tori Maris.
She came in for physical therapy to help work with some of her gross motor skills, such as jumping, running, bike skills, kind of all of that. So that's what we were addressing with our PT sessions.
The program is helping both youngsters immensely. Mom and Dad, obviously, are thrilled.
They're both doing excellent. Josie, particularly, is making great strides. Just in her mobility and stairs and all the rest of it.
I think one of the biggest benefits of partnering with Mass General for Children here with the pediatric care is really that collaborative aspect and how they're within the building, so they're a nice, quick communication with them. We can really collaborate on more of a weekly basis, which is really beneficial.
The fact that everyone knows us here is just makes it feel a lot, it feels like I mentioned being kind of familial. I feel like just that has been a really nice aspect to it. So it's really a one-stop shop where we can take them and have all of their needs, their medical needs met.
The Foxboro facility also provides world-class sports medicine care. Patients have access to the same physicians who often treat professional athletes as part of Mass General Brigham's Sports Medicine Division, including the New England Patriots, New England Revolution, Boston Bruins, and many Division I college athletic programs and high school programs. One of those patients is Kevin McCaslin, a 17-year-old pitcher at King Philip Regional High School in Wrentham, Mass. The left-hander injured his elbow one day in practice.
I thought it was going to be like a routine shoulder or elbow checkup, and I thought that everything was going to be fine. Little did I know that, it ended up being a lot more than that.
Adam was able to get the ball rolling quickly, as he is both the athletic trainer for the school and a trainer at Mass General Brigham Foxboro. An MRI showed a ligament tear.
When I got hurt, obviously Tommy John going through my head constantly. And I knew I may not go to college to play baseball, so I knew that I may never play again. Once I heard that I did need surgery, it crushed me.
Indeed, Tommy John surgery was needed. Mass General Brigham orthopedic surgeon Dr. Luke O made the repairs to Kevin's left elbow.
Tommy John surgery is a reconstruction of the ulnar collateral ligament, which is on the inside part of the elbow, and commonly injured among overhead throwing athletes, whether in baseball, softball, javelin throwing, and some other sports where there are high torque forces applied to the inside of the elbow. You can rupture the ligament. Typically a tendon from somewhere else in the body is taken to create a new ligament to insert back into the inside of the elbow. And most often it's taken from a tendon that exists in the wrist and the forearm.
Kevin's surgery was a success, but his care didn't stop there.
So think about throwing with both hands, receiving with both hands.
Mike Belanger is a Mass General Brigham physical therapist.
My hope is that he's able to participate with his team this spring with King Philip High School, and he's certainly working hard enough to do that.
But Tommy John surgery for a 17-year-old? Highly uncommon years ago, but not so much today.
As we see baseball become more of a year-round sport, with greater exposure to the game comes the ability to throw more pitches and more pitches with high velocity.
We're seeing an increase in essentially the odometer of the ligament in the elbow. He's been doing quite well. He's achieved full range of motion in the elbow. He will be working with the athletic trainer, Adam, as well as physical therapist Michael, to help him progress to the next stage of physical therapy.
We continue with our look at the various programs included in the Spaulding Network when our Sports Spotlight series returns.
The people here actually take an interest and follow up.
Spaulding has a uniquely strong commitment to the disabled and to those who need access to this sort of long-term health care.
Commitment, passion, caring, world class. Ask most how to describe the Spaulding Rehabilitation Hospital, and this is what you'd hear. Spaulding began in Boston in the early 70s. From then to now, the changes have been stunning.
We went from a facility that was really much more of a perhaps caretaking environment to one of the truly great integrated research and clinical care places in the world.
Spaulding has become a world leader in helping people recover from a devastating illness or injury to help people who have had a challenge in their lives restore their lives. Today, that is happening at one of Spaulding's more than 25 inpatient and outpatient centers in eastern Massachusetts, including at their anchor clinic, hospital, or facility, which opened in 2013 in Charlestown.
We moved to a building on the water with views of the water that was adaptively designed, where we sought a lot of input from our patients. It's unquestioned that this lit, bright environment with so much more technology and elements for people with challenges made an incredible difference.
There, it is treatment and rehabilitation. One example of that is Spaulding's adaptive sports program, which includes kayaking, rock climbing, and skiing. Several professional athletes have received care at Spaulding, but you don't need to be on that athletic level to get it.
So many people who have elbow pain, shoulder pain, knee pain after running, people training for the marathon, people cycling, as so much of our community does over the weekend. We have the weekend athletes, all of whom we're seeking to restore to function.
Spaulding is also a teaching hospital for the Harvard Medical School. It's a critical connection.
We have an incredible number of medical students and trainees, our medical trainees, that really are the source of our lifeblood.
Whether it's a first-year medical student or a seasoned physician, there's one common thread.
It's passion, and it's a passion for the patients. That could be someone in the research lab who is there passionately late night working on a project to say, hey, can I make a difference for people with spinal cord injury? That could be a nurse caring for a person with an injury. And so it is our entire team that just is so ensconced in the patient population, because they know that they feel responsible for changing those people's lives.
There are countless examples of that passion to help. One of them came in the moments and the days following the Boston Marathon bombing in 2013. Nearly 36 bombing survivors received treatment and rehab at Spaulding. The following year, staff and friends of the hospital ran the Race for Rehab, raising $750,000. Sports medicine is a huge part of the network's commitment.
How do we restore athletes to their function? How do we do that for runners, cyclers, the aging athlete or the geriatric athlete, a special emphasis on women as athletes?
Spaulding is quite proud to be a recognized leader in rehabilitative medicine, both here at home and around the world.
There's so much that we have in this Boston community, in the world community, that has allowed us to now bring sentinel biotechnology to our patients in real time. And we're able to change their path. We see people walking who've never walked before. You see people speaking who would have never done that before. You see people getting out of pain who would have never done that before.
So what's next for Spaulding?
I think we have huge potential in the area of robotics, in the area of pharmacologic therapeutics, in the area of understanding how we retrain people in the optimal time.
Cutting-edge facilities, treatments, therapies, all likely to modify and change as time goes along, but there's one thing at Spaulding that will stand the test of time.
It's the one thing we select everyone here for, and it's the one thing I can't teach. I can't teach people to care. Everyone here is incredibly passionate about the patient population, about transforming their lives, and about making everyone one day better every day.